like to thank you for coming here today. And what is your name?
Mose.
And what exactly do you do?
I am an indentured servant.
I see it. Well, you don't mind if I ask you a couple questions about the economy, do you?
Of course not, sir.
Well, I appreciate that. Let's get started. Please sit down.
Are you sure, sir?
Oh, I'm quite positive you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I was wondering, what are some of the major stimulants of your economy?
We didn't have any more burden from the British taxation. And also, shipbuilding and manufacturing have increased since the commencement of the war.
What were some of the burdens of your economy?
Well, the new tax acts, for example, the Sugar Act of 1764 and the Stamp Act of 1765, really put a big burden on the economy because a lot of people needed those kind of things.
How did the colonies finance the Revolutionary War?
Well, to finance the war, the colonies first borrowed money in gold, silver, or British currency from wealthy individuals.
Well, Mose, I'd like to thank you for coming today. I appreciate your insight.
Thank you, sir.
Now, don't you have a tea party to be going off to?
Oh, that's right. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Tonight we have Mr.
William Sherman.
And Mrs.
Mr.
Sorry.
Samuel Cooper.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you guys a couple questions about your economies during the Civil War. And we'll start with Mr. Sherman over there. What was the main economic driving force at the time? Do you know?
Industrialization, the transcontinental railroad, and the little farming.
Okay, and for the South?
Cotton. Lots of cotton.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
Cotton.
All right. What would somebody from your time period be doing to help the economy?
They'd be working in a factory.
All right, makes sense. And for Mrs. Cooper, what is your answer?
Mr. Cooper.
Sorry?
They'll be working in the cotton fields, harvesting cotton.
Okay. And last question for tonight. How did the Civil War affect your economy separately?
Well, it didn't really affect us in a bad way. It actually helped expand our industrial capacity, and we were able to finance the war just fine with the two major incomes, farming and industry.
All right, and for you, Mr. Cooper?
Well, the war hurt us a lot. We were not as industrialized as the Yankees. We had to sell the cotton to finance the war, but the Yankee blockades caused us to be unable to meet the demands of our customers. Thus, we were unable to sell our cotton.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Damn Yankee.
Rebel.
North wins.
Not if I can help it.
Well, thank you for coming in tonight, Mr.
William Cooper.
All right, Mr. William Cooper. What exactly do you do?
I'm a mountain man.
Okay, and what do you do as a mountain man?
Oh, I trap furs, such as the one on my head.
Which is a...
This is coyote.
Oh, coyote. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your economy today. And my first question would be, what is the driving force of your economy?
Well, right now it's the railroad. It moves all the goods from the east out to the west for me and all the other folks around here.
Such as?
Well, for me, it brings me my traps, my guns, my ammunition, my food, and other supplies I need to survive.
And what about the other 95% of people that don't live in homes?
Well, they pan for gold. It brings in gold pans, shovels, picks. Brings railroad workers their tools and supplies.
Whiskey?
Only every once in a while.
All right. Next question would be, what is the current state of your economy? in relation to the fur trade?
Oh, well, demand for the furs is beginning to fall. Prices are falling, and the supply is running thin. I may have to find some other occupation.
Have you ever thought about trapping squirrels? Chipmunks? You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I'm afraid I don't, man.
All right, well, thank you for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr.
George Johnson.
George Johnson. What's in the suitcase?
This? Nothing in this suitcase. It's empty. See? Doesn't even open. I can't get it open. There's nothing in it. I'm hoping to sell it to somebody and make a few dollars so I can get a hot meal.
Well,
Why am I here?
can I ask you a few questions about the economy?
What economy?
Well, what caused the Great Depression?
Well, first off, stock market crash of 1929. 2 months after the original crash, stock marketers had already lost over $40 billion. And even though the stock market began to regain some of its losses by the end of 1930, wasn't enough, and the Americans entered the Great Depression. Second thing that happened was 9,000 bank failures in 1930. And bank deposits were uninsured, and when people came to get their money, the banks just failed because they didn't have the money there. And the surviving banks, if you were lucky enough to survive, were unsure about the economic situation and concerned about their own survival and stopped creating loans. And without loans, you can't make money. Simple economics.
What was the employment rate?
I just said 25 to 33%.
Okay, sorry. And what kind of jobs were people able to get?
Well, if you were lucky enough to get a job, you normally got a job working in the fields or construction, and they were not easy jobs.
Rosie.
You riveter?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't mind, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about the economy today.
Okay.
How are you contributing to the economy?
Well, I work in a factory making clothes. This is one of the items that we export.
Uniform jackets?
Yep.
Okay. What is the driving force of the economy right now?
Well, the demand for war materials, clothing, food, bullets, tanks, machinery, guns.
Okay. How is the war benefiting the U.S. economy?
Well, the U.S. is exporting a lot of goods, and this brings money to our economy. This has also increased the demand for farming and manufacturing.
Okay, and that pretty much just brought us out of the Great Depression.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today,
You're welcome.
and have fun manufacturing.
Thanks. We can do it. Thank you for coming today, Dr. Kelson.
No problem.
I have a few questions to ask you.
Sure.
So what is the driving force in your economy?
Well, I really think that the dot-com boom and high technology companies are really driving forces. And we're in a long-running expansion, which has really helped support our welfare.
Okay, and what are the burdens to your economy?
Well, the events on September 11th really caused and triggered high unemployment and business failures in the recession. Plus, our carbon footprint hasn't helped much. The GEO4 report warns that we are living far beyond our means.
Okay, and what do you think will better the economy?
Well, I really think that the red-hot housing market is really going to help. We're going to buy, and we're going to become rich overnight. Plus, we really need to invest in economic catalysts, with community centers and swimming pools, and education, higher education. I cannot stress education enough.
Okay, well, thank you for coming today.
Oh, thank you very much. Now I'm off to the Olympics to race against Michael Phelps.
Good luck.
Yes.